Michael's on your left. Rob is on your right in the middle seats. Let's take a look at the matchups here. We got Gene Brumby against Jacob Wilson. That's a Grixis Control Mirror and Legacy. Michael and Rob, that's Phoenix. Is it Phoenix versus Amulet Titan? And then Nicholas and Marcus, it's Is it Drake's Mirror and Standard? But for now, as I mentioned, we turn our attention towards Legacy. Excuse me, we turn towards Modern, pardon me. It's a Forest there for Pisano. For Michael, it's a Scalding Tarn that'll be sacrificed here on Pisano's end step for his team vets.
Seems like it would be a pretty solid matchup for Amulet Titan, not a lot of pressure or disruption or counter spells from the Phoenix side.
I think I would agree with that. Never seeing the matchup before. On the surface, it seems like it would just be pretty good for Pisano. There's a Scalding Tarn. Michael will pass the turn back over to Rob. A Slayer Stronghold into an Explorer. Well, if Michael didn't know what he was doing before, I think he certainly knows now. Slayer Stronghold, not seen a lot of play in Modern. As there's the Gemstone Mine. Tap that for an Ancient Stirrings, will Pisano. So he'll take a look at the top 5 cards. What's your Stirring stamp? Find a land that produces 2+ mana. So
He finds
a Kuru.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all you reach for that bingo board. Camera's on the wrong person. Needs to be in the middle seat. It'll be an Amulet. And we're going to head back over to Michael, who's going to sacrifice the Scalding Tarn. He'll get himself a Steam Vent. So it's a slow start here for Is It Phoenix player. No real cantrips or anything. Probably had a Bolt for protection, but nothing to bolt just yet.
Well, there's also the possibility of having, looting and the ability to roll up a Phoenix and get it all back in one turn and wanting to sit.
Michael, not sure what land number 3 is going to be. It appears as though he does have one to play. Manamorphose will be spell 1. That'll resolve. He'll draw a card. 2 mana added into the pool. And it looks like it's going to be red-red on the Manamorphose, thanks to our table spotter. As Michael's now going to play and sacrifice an Arid Mesa. Going to fall down to at least 17, potentially less than that. Arid Mesa can only search up a mountain or Steam Vents. It'll be a Steam Vents. Down to 15. Serum Visions. Still red-red floating. Scry 2 cards to the bottom real fast. Faithless Looting. Just a red floating now. Draw 2, gonna discard 2. Arclight Phoenix is 1. Arclight Phoenix is 2. 3 spells have been played. Bring them back. In for 6.
Watching this unfold here, nice third turn for Hinderacker, but you can see Miriam's critique of Bedlam Reveler.
Yes.
It's not a deck that empties out its hands all that efficiently.
Yep. It'll be an Explorer here for Pisano. He's going to draw a card. Opportunity to play 2 lands now. You already see the Gemstone Mine in hand. One is the Gemstone Mine. Gets 3 mining counters. Rob's already moved it down to 2, though. He's got some plans of using the mana.
1 p.m. Modern Challenge players, your next round
looks like for an
are
amulet.
going up. Please find your seat.
So there's an amulet. Now there's Bajuka Bog. Take care of the graveyard, making Bedlam Reveler look even worse now. That land enters the battlefield tapped, and then it'll untap because of the amulet. So it's not been a very explosive start here for Pisano at all.
Though next
what
turn,
I would think is a good match.
next turn could be really good, though.
Yeah. It would have to involve prime time, which is what this deck is all about. You saw Serum Visions there. That's spell 1 if we're going to keep track again for Arclight Phoenixes. Just a land, and now here's an attack for 6 by Michael. Pisano's going to fall down a little bit lower. Looks like to 8. Now he'll draw. Picked up another Gemstone Mine. Well, I haven't seen anything really explosive about this draw yet here for Rob. He's going to play another Gemstone Mine, 3 mining counters. Has a copy of Engineered Explosives in hand, but that'd be a pretty hard way to do it. Now there's prime time. Going to remove some mining counters here from these gemstones. They're going to fall down to 2, 1, and 1 respectively. And there will be a trigger here for Primeval Titan if it resolves, which it does. I think this is a little bit more what we were expecting.
Does he have the? I mean, does he have the setup here to just fully do it?
Well, to win the game this turn, I don't believe so. I don't think his draw is explosive enough. So what I think he's going to do is get Boros Garrison of Vesuva. There'll be 1 trigger from the Boros Garrison, but there will also be the Vesuva that's going to copy something. It's going to copy, I believe, the Slayer's Stronghold. Those will untap, of course, because of the Amulet of Vigor. He'll be able to give his Primeval Titan haste, and +2/+0. He's still got to return something here from the Boros Garrison's trigger. And I think Rob is still just trying to figure out exactly which one he wants to return.
William Moten to the Simon stage.
It looks like it's going to be Gemstone Mine.
Stage.
So now Primeval Titan will get to attack. It's an 8/6 Trampling Vigilance. And it's got its trigger. Go find some lands. And it looks like Pisano is eyeing Radiant Fountain.
Well, the Radiant Fountain makes some sense here if Pisano can't win the game this turn, because if he pulls himself up to 10, the hits from the Arclight Phoenixes drop him to 4, and then Hinderacker would need 2 bolts to finish the game off. The way things are now, if he doesn't gain any life or win the game this turn, he's dead to Lightning Bolt or Fiery Temper.
And I would like to believe that if Hinderacker had 2 bolts, he would have killed Primeval Titan. Potentially. Right?
It's a good bet, not a lock.
Not a lock.
If you think that he can't do, if you think that he can't kill you nor set up in a way to prevent himself from getting killed with the Primeval Titan, you might just let it roll. But yeah, certainly your instinct is just to kill it.
Simic Growth Chamber, Radiant Fountain. Radiant Fountain trigger, gain 2 life. Pisano's got to return a land from the Simic Growth Chamber trigger. He's going to return his copy of Bojuka Bog. So that prime time looks like it's going to come across for 8 damage. Now let's see what the follow-up is here for Pisano now that we're in main phase 2. It's going to be Azusa, Lost but Seeking. That looks like that's going to resolve. So that means 2 additional land drops are available here. Now land drops don't use the stack, but lands that have enter the battlefield triggers might prevent a little something here from Rob. Maybe Michael's able to kill Azusa with maybe a Bojuka Ball trigger on the stack. But we're going to see Gemstone Mine be the first move. And now Bojuka Bog be the second move. Take care of the Serum Visions in the graveyard. Pass the turn back. Hope I don't die. Well, there's a Fiery Temper. Going to bring Pisano down to 7. Michael will draw. He has a Lightning Bolt. And then 2 attacks from those Phoenixes means it'll get the job done. So, Michael Hinderacker is going to win game number 1 here over Rob Pisano. Is it Phoenix up a game here over Amulet Titan? Is Amulet Titan just not particularly explosive in that game?
A little slow out the gates. Lost the roll. Hinderacker's 3rd turn put a lot of pressure on the battlefield, and I think Pisano definitely, if he gets to his next turn, would be fine, but just a turn slow there.
Well, we will get some updates on our scoreboard here because it looks like some matches have finished, but while they are updating, we want to take a look at the sideboards here for both players. We want to see what they're working with, and we're going to start with Rob Pisano, who's got 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Ancient Grudge, 2 Fire Spout, 2 Relic of Progenitus. Let's take a look at these 7 1-ofs in a Braid, Cavernous Souls, Hornet Queen, Pact of Negation, Reclamation Sage, Tireless Traka, and Ruach Taw, the Unbound.
I really like the Ruach Taw and probably the Hornet Queen as well. I really don't want to mess around with the anti-creature stuff. think the Spell Piercers are probably okay. Light sideboarding here.
For Michael, he's got 4 Ravenous Trap, not for this matchup. 3 Kiln Fiend, 2 Anger of the Gods, 2 Wear Tear, 2 Engineering Explosives, and 2 Alpine Moon.
Kiln Fiend seems awesome here. Doesn't really interact with the board and makes Hinderacker's deck a lot faster.
Yeah, I kind of like Kiln Fiend.
Kiln Fiend seems really good.
That's a really interesting sideboard card, and certainly something that we didn't see in Ross Merriam's take on this particular deck. He's very spell-heavy in the sideboard. Kiln Fiend lets you kind of flip the switch a little bit.
I mean, in the matchups that are about winning as fast as possible, your opponents typically don't have a whole lot of creature removal, and whatever they have against you probably got boarded out, and Kiln Fiend is really conducive to setting up turn 3 or turn 4 kills.
This will be interesting to see if Michael wants to bring those in. We can let you know that Jacob Wilson did win game number 1 in his match in that Grixis Control Mirror. They're playing Legacy up top, and it looks like Nicholas Lassen and Marcus Luong in the Is It Drake's Mirror and Standard still battling it out. So those players will keep playing. We'll let you know what happens when we can. For now, we want to talk about the newest addition to our Creature Collection series here at Star City Games. That is our Ravnica Allegiance pre-release playmat. You ready for the name on this?
Hit me.
Simeon Tour Guide.
Got it.
You get it.
Yep.
This is for the Ravnica Allegiance pre-release. It's a pre-release exclusive Creature Collection playmat. You also see it down there in the bottom left-hand corner. A little new logo. New font.
Cool.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ask your local game store to sign up today. They can get more information, as can you, at go.starcitygames.com/pre-release. Now, January 19th and the 20th will be the pre-release for Ravnica Allegiance. That's when we're going to get our other 5 guilds, which is actually pretty exciting. I want to see what Gruul's got to offer the new set. I hope of all the new guilds that are coming in, I'm very interested in the Gruul keyword, and I really don't want it to be Bloodthirst. I want it to be something we haven't seen before. I don't know what that would be, but at that pre-release, January 19th and the 20th, you can pick up this playmat, assuming that your store does participate in the program. Go to starcitygames.com/pre-release. More information is there. I'm always let down by Simic, so I just don't have any expectations there.
Okay.
Because they had, what did they have? They had Graft and
Evolve.
Yeah. Which, like, I like the flavor of Simic. Like, I loved like Cloudfin Raptor and Shamble Shark and like all of those cards because it's all these mutations and experimentations, but it's never really good for Constructed.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to make Graft good enough because having a bunch of creatures in play, they all survive, and the powers you're manipulating, it matters that you have options. That sort of thing doesn't come up a whole lot in Constructed. And Evolve is not appreciably different than any other sort of beatdown sort of mechanic. You know what I mean? Like, it is just about going 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool.
It's cool,
but
but not the most inspiring. So we'll see.
Looks like Marcus Luong was able to win game number 1 of his match against Nicholas Lassen. So the Isidrek's Mirror goes to the player on the right, the team of Wilson, Pisano, and Luong, currently leading this match, as Hinderacker and Pisano going to take a look at their opening hands. Looks like they're both ready to roll. It'll be a Gemstone Mine to start here for Rob, and now a Sakura Tribe Scout. That one is worth a lightning bolt, I would think, if Michael has one, and he does. He'll have to go down to 18 via Steam Vents to kill it, but probably for the best as we head back over to Pisano. Pisano picks up a copy of Sunholm, Fortress of Legion. He's going to play a copy of Ancient Stirring, so we'll take a look at the top 5 cards. Patrick is getting his bingo stamper ready, hoping Pisano takes a Karoo. Rob taking a look at the Ancient Stirrings and the hand. It looks like Marcus has got an idea for what he should take here. Vesuva. Not going to get you there.
Doesn't count.
No. Follow-up here for Pisano will be a Crew and Simic Growth Chamber. Trigger, return the Gemstone Mine, pass it back over to Michael. Michael's second turn of the game will begin. It'll be an Arid Mason.
Attention Magic players, this is the last call to register for our
down to 17 at least.
We have a
You see Kiln Fiend's in the deck. That's the bottom card of his deck. Makes you wonder if he's going to be casting one this turn as he searches up a mountain. Kiln Fiend is a great way to play the Yoki Doke in this matchup.
Yeah. Kind of the perfect card for this matchup where they don't have much in the way of creature removal, and there's a real premium on speed.
And there is a Kiln Fiend. So Pisano, oddly enough, could maybe die next turn, depending on what Michael's hand does look like. But we go back over to Rob for his third turn of the game. It'll be a gemstone mine. 3 mining counters down to 2. Is it Azusa? It's Trinket Mage.
Okay.
Now that one can find an amulet, obviously, and it will. I guess it finds explosives too. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. If you want to get a little creative with the sideboard, you can. Something like a Tormod's Crypt or a Relic of Progenitus. Chalice of the Void, who knows? He does have 2 relics in the sideboard, does Rob. So that's fun. Back over to Michael, as here's a Faithless Looting. Killfiend's going to get a little bit bigger to start. Discarding 2 cards there in Steam Vents and Thing of the Ice. There's a Spirebluff Canal. And now there's an Is It Charm? Killfiend's going to come across here for, it looks like, 7.
Yep.
So Pisano's going to fall down to 13. But for Pisano, this could be a pretty good turn. As there you do see, pardon me, the Killfiend. 2-mana, 1/2 elemental beast. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Killfiend gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Well, Pisano does have that Amulet of Vigor in hand. Could do some pretty crazy stuff, depending. Looks like he might just be transmuting Slayer West. Well, he's not sure.
Well, it's tough. I mean, you got to figure, if you're in Pisano's spot here, that if you don't interact with the board this turn, if you just sort of set up shop for next turn, you're probably not getting the next turn. I don't know. Maybe that's an overstatement. I guess it would require 4 spells, and each bolt, it counts as 2. Because the Killfiend's worth 1 up front, that gets you to 12, and then every spell's an additional 3.
Sure, okay.
Which, I guess it's not, definitely not a lock that Hinderacker would have that roll rolled up. So maybe you can spend a turn setting up here to try to set up an overwhelming following turn.
All right, well, here's an Amulet. Boros Garrison going to come down. There is some mana floating. They're going to transmute to Layer West. So let's see what this is going to go find. Something like a Blue Pact is no good here. Engineer Explosive strikes me as okay.
To me, there's 2 justifiable things that you can go get. Something to interact with the table this turn, or something that sets you up to win the game for sure the next turn.
Okay.
And everything else is just whatever. It's not what the game's about.
So that leads me to believe that you don't like a Blue Pact in a spot like this?
No, because it could set up a kill for the next turn.
It just gives you the protection to be able to fully go for it?
Right, yeah.
Well, Michael, is the game over? It'll take 4 spells to do it. Or I suppose 2 lightning bolts, yeah?
Yep. 4 spells, bolts count as 2.
Sure. They count as 2, of course, because 3 damage to the opponent and +3 to Killfiend is effectively 2 spells. Now, 1 bolt is already in the graveyard. That's been used. Took care of a Secure Tribe Scout first turn of the game. There is a Faithless Looting in the graveyard, so there is at least 1 spell to play. Scalding Tarn is the land here for Michael. And now there is the Faithless Looting. That'll be recast from the graveyard. So, 2 cards coming. 2 cards will be going away. Arclight Phoenix, Thing in the Ice.
I suppose the other way to do it is 3 spells, none of which are bolts, but you get Arc-Light Phoenix in the graveyard in the course of casting 3 spells.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
That counts.
I'm not sure how to do any of these sequences by opening up on flashing back Faithless Looting, unless there are gut shots in the deck or some other free spell.
Sleight of hand. Makes a lot of sense why we saw Ross Marion playing so many earlier. Seems like Ross might just be one step ahead so far on how to construct this style of deck. Removing Bedlam Reveler, playing a lot of gut shots. Mostly playing those gut shots because they're free, but there's some added upside.
Yeah.
If Gataxian Probe was legal, obviously there'd be a 4 in this deck.
I really like the structure of Ross's deck a lot, I think more than Hinderaker's, but I am into Kiln Fiend as a sideboard card.
I like that.
That is great.
I like that.
Because there's some matchups that are all about speed. Thinking the ice can be really mopey. It's just not fast enough to matter.
Vesuva is a Simic Growth Chamber. It returned Boros Garrison. And now this is interesting. Because Rob really can't do the whole attack you with Titan type thing because the Boros Garrison's no longer on the battlefield. At least I don't think so. It'll be Wajuka Bog and Radiant Fountain that come down. Those will untap because of the amulet. Rob's going to gain some life. He's got a big 6/6 on the battlefield. He's up to 8.
I mean, in theory, now he can just block the Kiln Fiend, and he's got the cover from the Pact. Doesn't need to do it all this turn.
I guess he can pay for the pack too because the Vesuva is a growth chamber. Okay, you're right. Michael will draw. Going to start things off with the Serum Visions, it appears. So Kiln Fiend right now, 4 power. Draw a card, scry 2. Split the difference there on the scry. One on top, one on bottom. And now Manamorphose, so that's spell number 2. However, there is not an Arc-Light Phoenix in the graveyard right now because of that Bajuka Bog. Here's Nizza Charm. That'll be spell 3.
Players and 332 headed giant players.
And this will be draw 2, discard 2 with Nizza Charm.
And pairings are posted at the gathering point. Please find your seat. Again, that's the 330
Kiln Fiend and Sacred Foundry will go to the graveyard.
And 332 headed giant Steel Spectacular players. Your seedings and round 1 have been posted at the gathering point banner.
Well,
please find your
this is a lethal attack here, so I think, yep, we're going to see a block and a trade. Land there is a Scalding Tarn there from Michael. So it'll fall down to at least 15, potentially less. And now Kiln Fiend. So looking to present lethal again, except for I think a blue pact took care of it. So Pisano making sure he pays for that pact. And now he'll draw, picked up a copy of Azusa. Forest, Tribe Scout. Pass the turn. Let's go back over to Michael. More cantripping to be done. It'll be sleight of hand. Take a look at the top 2. Take 1 with you. Other one will go to the bottom here for Michael. Looks like that blue pact ended up being a little bit better than I thought originally. A little bit of cover.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a real devastating thing, but Hinderaker's running really low on resources. Even if Pisano doesn't have anything substantial rolled up, he's got a lot of really big draws, and it's hard for Hinderaker to reassemble after being run this low on resources.
Yep. Looks like we're going back over to Pisano now, who's got an active secure Tribe Scout. It's just okay.
Might be getting into the red zone this turn.
Don't see that often.
Just just give him a little
taste.
He doesn't get a taste very often.
Mm-hmm.
When the coast is clear, you know.
Here's Azusa. That's going to resolve. So, got some land drops to make. Boros Garrison. Return Bojuka Bog. Play Bojuka Bog. Boros Garrison will be... So we're not there yet, because it's still got to enter untapped because of Amulet. There we go. So play this. The Bojuka Bog will be untapped because of Amulet. Trigger, remove the graveyard. And now...
Yes.
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 Pisano's hand not particularly good. Fiery Temper is going to go upstairs. Uh-oh. Might be bad news here for Rob. Arclight Phoenix. Yep, in for 3. Put you to 2. Bolt you. That's going to do it. Michael Hinderacker is going to win this game and match over Rob Pisano. As Is It Phoenix is going to take care of Amulet Titan. Was Pisano maybe supposed to get back a Radiant Fountain and replay it? Who knows? It didn't look like he needed another turn. Maybe he finds a Primeval Titan then? Again, who knows? All we do know is that Michael Hinderacker is going to win this match over Rob Pisano. And it looks like Marcus Luong won his match there over Nicholas Lassen in the Is It Drake's Mirror. So we've got some Grixis Control Legacy to watch.
Down to Jacob Wilson.
And Gene Brumby. Wilson currently up a game for his team. And we'll get our eyes on some life totals and all that jazz here in just a moment. And I can't wait to see what this battlefield position is going to look like, because it's probably going to be a mess. Yeah, about as expected. Bunch of lands here on both sides. Some cards in each graveyard. Gurmag Anglers. But for Wilson, he's got the one thing that matters. Liliana the Last Hope has gone to an emblem. And what a powerful emblem it is, making zombies in this Grixis Control Mirror. This will be tough.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically... I try to keep unbeatable to a minimum, but this is not beatable.
Especially with Wilson at 17.
And Brumby falling down to 3 now with this fetch.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can Jacob Wilson some zombie tokens out there. But we do want to take a look at Liliana the Last Hope as well, for those of you that have never seen that card before. That's an emblem, man. That's an emblem. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, put X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is 2+ number of zombies you control. And it looks like Wilson also going to play a Snapcaster Mage. Now, I believe Wilson should have 3 zombies, because I believe that Gurmag Angler is a zombie fish. Am I wrong about that part?
I do not know if it's a zombie.
I want to make sure there with the Gurmag Angler. I'm almost positive it's a zombie fish, as Wilson's going to be attacking and winning anyway. Or as Clyde likes to say, swishing and dishing.
Yes, zombie fish.
Zombie fish. So, should have gotten an additional zombie there, it looks like. But either way, the team of Jacob Wilson, Rob Pisano, and Marcus Luong is going to win this match over Gene Brumby, Michael Hinderacker, and Nicholas Lassen. Grixis Control, Amulet Titan, Is It Drakes, take it down. Congratulations to Jacob, Rob, and Marcus.